Hey, what's up guys? Christian here back with another video, and today we're doing our 2019 Masters preview even though it started today. Today I have my dad with me, joining me. And Dad, what are your thoughts on day one so far?
Well, I expected better scoring, really, although you got a ton of guys under par. There's no wind. It's a perfect day, 82 or 3 degrees. I thought there'd be a 66 or 7 out there. So far, that's not happened, although Koepka's got his 4 under, and I think has 15 to go, so he might get there. But yeah, I mean, you still got for the most part the guys you'd expect to be there. Aside for 2 notable names, Justin Rose, Jordan Spieth are having tough days.
Yeah, I figured Paul Casey would do better too. He's who I have in a Masters pool with Augusta Gator, who most of you guys probably know. But so we made our picks last night. I ended up taking, I think it was, hold on, let me look here. I think I ended up taking Fowler, and I think I took Fowler, Thomas, and no, okay. I took Fowler, Rose, and McIlroy. So 2 of those are going pretty well for me today, but Rose is not. And you ended up taking Kuchar, Finau, and Dustin Johnson. And how did Finau do today?
He was 2 under at one time. Let's look at these picks here. Rory really wasn't doing anything, as far as I can tell, which doesn't surprise me. I think he might have been 1 under at one point. Finau, let's see. Finau finished at 1 under. Roy's 1 over. He's done. Who else did you pick? You said Rose?
Rose, obviously he's done.
He's out of it. All right, so Fowler was playing pretty good. He's 2 under, so he's in it. Who was the other picks? Fowler,
Rose, and McIlroy.
Okay, and then I had Kuchar. Kuchar was playing pretty well one time.
You had Kuchar, Finau, and Dustin.
Okay. Dustin obviously having a pretty good day. Dustin is 3 under. He's on 14. Kuchar's back to even. He must have. Kuchar eagled 15 and gave it right back.
So he eagled 15 and he gave it right back at the double?
Yeah, he did.
Wow.
So there you go. So the rest of this week is going to be interesting. You're not going to see, I don't think, the kind of conditions that you see today. It's supposed to, there's thunderstorms predicted the rest of the week. Now, that doesn't mean that's going to happen. Mm-hmm. But I would expect you're going to see at least one of these days where these guys have got to play more than 18 holes. And for guys like Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson, who are, to this point, in contention, that makes it hard because that place is a hard place to walk. And guys that are 45, 6, 7, 8 years old, Tiger's 43, it's not an easy thing to do, to walk that course, believe it or not. I know it's just walking, but it takes its toll on them.
Well, one thing you said earlier, speaking of the weather, you said earlier that you think we might finish on Monday this year. Do you still think that's a possibility?
Well, it definitely is. I mean, if the biggest threat for rain is Sunday, it's like 70%. Now, the last time that happened was 1983. They had to finish on Sunday. Mm-hmm. So that would stink big time because I got to work and you got to go to school. Mm-hmm. That's not what you want at all for the spectators, for the players, for anybody. But, you know, you can't do anything about it. You just got to deal with it. You just have to take it as it comes. But the point I'm trying to make is the course, when it rains like that, there's 2 things that happen. One is those greens will get softer, so you can fire those pins, but it gets a lot longer. It's already a long course anyway. And so the guys that can really hit a long way, people like Dustin, Koepka, even Mickelson, if he can keep it straight, in the fairway somewhat, it's an advantage for him. Justin Thomas too, who's still in contention. Gary Woodland's the guy I've been talking to you about for a long time.
Yeah.
Right now he's 2 under, played a pretty decent round today. He's a guy that I wish I'd probably picked yesterday. I'd definitely put him as a dark horse. He is due to win a big tournament like this.
He was in contention in a major sometime recently, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was in contention in the PGA last year.
Okay, that's where I was thinking of.
He was in the final group, as a matter of fact, before Captain kind of pulled away. Yeah. Gary Woodland's I believe he's going to win a major one of these days. And it might happen this week. Augusta's a place that he can flat out dominate. There's nobody on that tour hits it longer. Nobody, except for Cameron
Champ.
Yeah, who's not even in the field this week.
Why is he not in the field? Didn't he qualify?
No, the tournament he won back in the fall was not an automatic qualifier. And Cameron, as much as I thought he was going to be a force, he doesn't really do anything else well except hit it a long way. Right now, he's pretty young. That may change. But aside from him, nobody's longer than Woodland. Nobody, even Rory. But Gary really doesn't putt very well. But now that started to change last year. He's been working with Dave Pells, and he's been working with David Ledbetter. And Woodland is probably Dustin Johnson, probably the best pure athlete on tour. He played basketball, college basketball.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he did.
I didn't know that.
He decided to make golf his sport. He just, he knew playing pro basketball wasn't going to be a thing he could do at 6'1" or 2.
Mm-hmm.
But Woodland is a guy that can really play golf, and he can win this tournament. He's somebody I think is going to be in the mix come Sunday afternoon or maybe Monday.
Yeah, I definitely think that's a possibility. I was actually thinking about taking Woodland for the Masters pool, but I ended up going with Paul Casey just because of the fact that he's been really hot lately. It seems about every week recently he's either been in contention or he's won it. So that's why I ended up taking Casey. Unfortunately, it's not working out very well for me so far. But
one thing you want to think about with these major tournaments, and the Masters in particular, 40-year-old men, 40 and over, don't win majors. And in particular, at Augusta, the last time somebody over the age of 40 won there.
It was Jack, wasn't it?
Well, no. Mark O'Meara won.
I don't even know who that is.
Well, he won in 2000 and... No, it was 99, I believe it was. This would have been the year, 2 years after Tiger won his first one. I'm pretty sure 99's right. I should know that, but there's no use for me to look it up. That was the last time somebody over the age of 40 won it, except when Mickelson won it. When Mickelson won his last one in 2013. Yeah, 2013. So that's not to say Tiger or Phil can't win this week, but it's not going to be something that happens very often. And that's why I would say Paul Casey, who was a really great player. I wouldn't say he's a Hall of Fame caliber. He never won a major, but his time's over.
Yeah. I actually didn't even realize how old he was.
Yeah, his time's over. He's not going to win this tournament.
Yeah.
You want to look at guys that are younger, and Woodland would have been a lot better choice for you just because of his age.
Yeah.
Bill might win this week. I would say he'll fade.
Yeah.
Tiger could win. I would say today the big problem that people just don't get about Tiger, and you've never really seen this, but when you were born, it looked like Jack Nicklaus said when he first played with Tiger back when he was a rookie, and he said that Tiger would win more Masters than he and Arnold Palmer won combined, which was 10.
Wow.
And I'm going to tell you, when he first got out there, it looked like that was going to happen. But it's unbelievable. He's not won that thing since 2005.
Yeah.
It's
pretty crazy to think about, yeah. I mean, what is that, 14 years?
Yeah.
And 15 since Phil won in 04.
That's right. So it's the reason why that he's not winning anymore was on display today. He just doesn't make those putts from, say, 6 to 10 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Today, he could have easily shot a 68 with no problem. And really, a 66 was possible. He just, those shortish putts, and they're not necessarily short, but man, he used to make those. It was almost like God was putting for him. They always went in.
Mm-hmm.
And today, they just didn't go in, and I think it's how it's been for him the last 5 to 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't see that changing. It is what it is now for him.
So one thing I want to ask you about and get your opinion on is Jordan Spieth, my favorite player, has been struggling for, I'd say, about probably the last year or so. What do you think his biggest problem is?
Well, that's a good question because it kind of gives you the answer. There's not one biggest problem, Christian. Jordan, everything about his game is off. Everything. He's not driving the ball long, and he's never been real long. He doesn't drive it straight. He doesn't hit his irons well anymore. He's not chipping the ball well, and even worse, he can't putt at all. If you look at his statistics, he ranks in the hundreds on every statistic they keep on tour.
Really?
Yeah.
That poses a problem.
He's just, and it's hard to say. I think he lost confidence with his putter about a year and a half
I was just
ago.
about to say that. It doesn't look like he has confidence with anything right now.
No, well, he didn't. It started with that. And once he lost confidence with his putter, it's bled into everything. I mean, he's not played a good round since last year when he nearly ran Patrick Reed down here in this tournament.
Mm-hmm.
He almost shot the round of the life. He nearly.
I remember that now.
Well, he was with an eye last year.
If he birdied 18, he would have probably tied for the lead or something.
He would have won the tournament with a 62. That's never been done out there.
Mm-hmm.
But he clipped a tree on 18.
Oh, that's what happened. I was so dumb. I was so faded when that happened. I was like, no, he was so close.
If he birdies that hole, he shoots 62 and wins. If he pars it, he gets in a playoff 3.
Mm-hmm.
As it was, he shoots 64 and is one shot out of the lead. But he's not been really a factor in anything since. Well, that ain't even true. Now he was in the final group last year at the British Open and shot like 78. You remember that?
Oh gosh, yes. I forgot it. I completely forgot about that, but I remember now that you say it for sure.
So that was a total blow up. I mean, it was almost a fluky thing that he was even in contention. And then if you take it even further beyond that, he's not won any tournament anywhere since he won the British Open a year and a half ago. Going on 2 years now. So you've got a kid now who's won 3 majors. He should have won at least one other Masters, or really probably 2. And he should have probably won the British last year. So he should probably have 6 majors in his pocket now, but 25 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think that you should count him out. But we've been doing these podcasts now for 2 years, and I've been telling you for a while that he's got a little bit of a problem here. And it's getting larger by the month, almost by the day. And I believe what happened was this. He was so successful so early, he got in his mind that he was Tiger Woods.
Mm-hmm.
I really believe that. I think he thought that he was going to be that successful, and it put way too much pressure on him. And that's when he got out there. Every time he hit a bad shot, he was talking to himself and talking to his caddy. Mm-hmm. And I think he drove himself crazy, trying to be perfect all the time. And he's not that kind of player. He ain't nowhere near the golfer Tiger Woods was.
And that's not saying that is,
No.
Yeah.
Nobody. There ain't been one person on this earth that's like Tiger Woods, and that's Jack Nicklaus. Mm-hmm. And he had too much success too soon. And like I said, I ain't going to count a kid like that out as young as he is, but he's on the precipice of this thing getting away from him, where he never comes back. There's been plenty of people that burned out and before they're 30 years old, and it can happen to him. He really needs to really do some soul searching. I don't know. You don't need to see a psychiatrist.
Yeah, honestly.
That's how serious it's getting.
I mean, I pretty much completely agree with everything you just said. And I mean, I completely forgot about that British round and that 78 final round at the British. And I kind of remember now thinking to myself, after that day, I was kind of thinking to myself, something's wrong here. After that round, I knew something was up, and he's been out of contention at every tournament he's played in ever since.
Yeah, me too. I mean, he was number one in the world for a while, and now he's dropped all the way to 33rd. That's a big
That's
drop.
hard to think about.
Just go to PGAtour.com and look at where he ranks in like putting, driving distance, driving accuracy, sand save, any stats you want to look at. Look where he ranks. You'll find he's like 120th, 130th. It's just you can't play golf competitively when you're terrible at everything, and that's where he is right now.
All right, I'm gonna get off the subject of golf for a quick second, and then we'll go back to our picks for a second. But
okay.
What do you think about this whole Rick Barnes situation that is going on? I know that you are a Rick Barnes hater, which I get at times. But what are your thoughts on what happened? I guess it was pretty much Sunday night through Monday night with this whole saga of him going to UCLA or staying in Knoxville.
Well, I wouldn't say I'm a Rick Barnes hater. I'm not a fan of him as a coach. I don't think he's good really at all. I think he got luckier than crap with the kids he had up there. You got a lot of people talking about how he's developed as players. He didn't develop anything. Those kids developed themselves. Grant Williams and Admiral Schofield and Jordan Bone, Lamonte Turner, Jordan Bowden, they did it on their own. And Rick Barnes took two teams and did nothing with them. Nothing. They didn't accomplish anything.
About all they got was a Sweet 16.
Yeah, and the year before that, they didn't do that. So, and think about it.
That's the thing that frustrates me about this year. Probably the best season Tennessee football or basketball I've ever watched in my life, and we have nothing to show for it.
Not a thing. They didn't win anything. Not even the conference. Now, here's the thing, okay? What did Rick Barnes do to help those kids? Nothing. And I'll tell you how I can prove that. What did he provide them in terms of help on that roster? Nothing. Do you know how many points was scored by a freshman on that team this year?
None.
Not a single one, honey. And that's, in this day and age, I don't even know how that's possible.
Yeah.
You've got to get confidence.
Yeah, with the era of college basketball we're in, how is that even possible?
I don't know. I really don't. And so then he goes, they failed. And he failed. He failed at the same rate. Why do you think Texas ran him out of town?
I mean, you have a point.
And people are like, well, he did such a great job. He didn't. And so he holds us up for $5 million a year. For what? And I mean, I guess it's fine that if he had left.
I'm just judging it based off the fact that, as I never remember Tennessee basketball even being in contention.
Well, we were when Pearl was there. And look what Pearl did. He got offered to the Final Four. So now here we are. We stand almost alone in this league. And still haven't got to the Final Four.
Okay. Let's hypothetically say Rick Barnes left for UCLA. Who are you going after to be the next coach here?
Well, see, that's the thing. I mean, if he hadn't left, I don't have any confidence that Fulmer would have hired anybody worth anything.
True.
It's probably just as well. But if anybody thinks that we're going to be regularly a top 10 program in basketball, you got another thing coming.
I don't think we will be
it ain't
either.
gonna happen. And probably, if Bone leaves, and probably Grant's going to leave too, there's really nothing. There's nothing he can do. He's not an NBA player. He doesn't have the athletic ability.
Bone or Grant?
I'm talking about more Grant. There's nothing he can do. He might as well just go ahead and go pro. He graduated. He has his degree.
He's graduated for sure.
If he doesn't come back, you don't have one starter back for next year. Now you've got Lamonte and Bowden, who basically started some.
Yeah.
And you got this freshman coming back, but Kentucky's going to be what they always are.
Mm-hmm.
And you got Buzz Williams coming down from Virginia Tech. Texas A&M's going to be a lot better.
Oh yeah, for sure. This league is getting to where it's very, very, very competitive.
Tom Crean is a good coach. Now he ain't Tom Izzo.
Right.
But I guarantee you, Georgia ain't going to be what they were at all this year. They will start to be good down here.
Yeah, I agree. I think this year, it was his first year. You kind of just give him a pass on this year. I think Tom Crean was a great hire for Georgia. A lot of people were saying that if Barnes had ended up leaving, that Tennessee was going to go after Tom Crean at Georgia and try to get him to Tennessee. But
I mean, why would he do that? What point?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. So I'm like, why? Why would he leave? Not why would we go after him, but why would he leave Georgia to go to Tennessee?
I mean, I can tell you what I would have done if I'm going. I would have went and tried to got Greg Marshall, Wichita State. That's the name I say that every time Tennessee has an opening, he would have never came. But that's what I would have tried to have done. And if he wouldn't have taken the job, I would have went down to ETSU and got Steve Forbes coach. That's what I would have done. And if you wouldn't have got him, I'd have went down to Belmont and got Rick Berg and let him do it.
Speaking of Belmont, did you see who Belmont hired as their new coach?
No, who?
Casey Alexander, Lipscomb's coach.
Really?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Did Berg quit?
Berg retired. You didn't hear about that?
When did that happen?
About a week ago. He retired after 33 years.
I had no idea that happened.
Yep.
That's news. I missed that somehow.
Yep, Rick Berg retired about a week ago.
Okay. Now that's news to me.
He was at the Preds game last night.
Okay.
But
he had a good career. Good for him.
Yeah, for sure. Especially doing what he did at a school like Belmont. I mean, when he got there, they were a NAIA school, weren't they?
Yeah.
That's saying something. I mean,
Good man.
yeah. All right, back to golf.
Okay.
So if you have to, so I know we already did our picks, but if you have to pick, like picking 3 people, but if you have to pick one person out of those 3, who are you taking? And then I'll say who I'm taking.
I still like Kuchar to win. I mean, I don't want to renege on what I'm picking. If I had to pick now, I would say Koepka, the way he's doing it. I mean, it's easy to say that now if you've watched him.
Yeah.
But I still.
Koepka looks like he's for sure the favorite right now.
With picking Kuchar, and if I had to do over, seriously, I've been talking up Woodland for 3 years. You know that. I do like him as a dark horse. But I like Kuchar as a pick. Finau's a good pick. He's still in the mix. Mm-hmm. I feel pretty good about who I picked. But Koepka's, man, he knows how to win these things. Mm-hmm. There's no doubt about it. I mean, just look at his track.
Yeah, for sure. One thing about Koepka, though, that I was talking to you earlier about, it's crazy to me how in majors he's always in contention, but it seems like he's never in contention in anything but majors. It's weird to me.
He talked about that in an interview I saw. He's just mentally tough. He says that he says that majors are easier to win because guys psych themselves out. They get themselves too nervous. He just goes out there and plays, and he lets people beat themselves. And you know who's another guy that said that years ago?
Who?
None other than Jack Nicklaus themselves.
I figured you were going to say that.
Half the field would beat themselves at a major.
Because they just get too nervous, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very mental game.
Yes, well, you know that.
Very much so. So, I guess I'll say out of my 3, if I had to pick one, I'd take Fowler right now just because he's obviously in the best position right now. I think, would you say McIlroy was earlier? Here, let me look at the leaderboard. I don't want you to have to look at it.
McIlroy's 1 over.
He's 1 over. Okay, yeah, I see that now. And, I mean, Fowler is 2 under. and obviously
Ricky's right in this thing.
And
he
Rose
is as due as anybody on tour.
for sure.
Ricky can definitely win.
I want him to win a major so bad because he deserves it.
I'd be totally fine with that if he wins.
Because he's been playing such good golf in these things for so long. It's just he's due. He deserves to win one of these eventually.
I agree. It's bound to happen eventually.
Yeah.
He can do it. I don't think there's any question. He played great today. He was another one that things could have, he could have had a few more putts go down like Tiger. It could have been a better round. So, yeah, I wouldn't be a bit surprised if he put the jacket on him Sunday.
Mm-hmm. Only thing I didn't like is that I saw today he's growing his stupid hair out again.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, I could tell he's growing it out again.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, I'd say Brooks will probably end up winning this thing. But hey, it's Thursday. We got a long way to go. I'm excited for the Masters. Friday, Saturday, Sunday is going to be really fun, especially Sunday. Hopefully it doesn't get rained out. Hopefully they won't finish on Monday so we can actually see the end of it.
One more thing I'll leave you with is it's if you go back, you can go on YouTube and the Augusta National, one thing they've done is they put on every tournament that's ever been televised. You can go on YouTube and see.
The final round. I love that they've done that too.
Yeah, you just wouldn't believe how that place has changed. It used to be really all you had to do of that place was just bomb it as far as you could. And you could take a place like the ninth hole in particular is one that you can really notice a difference. You could just hit that thing as far right. It really didn't matter almost how far. Now they've planted so many trees out there in places. You can't do that anymore. Mm-hmm. There's a couple other holes I can think of that way. 11 is one where it's a really tight driving hole. 18 has always been kind of tight. Now it really is a narrow shoot where you've got to hit the ball straight. And Mickelson doesn't seem to get that.
Yeah.
But he can't just hit it anywhere.
It's like that one. It's like that shot on 11 you told me about today.
You should have seen that. He was just rearing back as far as I could. And there are holes where you can still do that. But my point is this. It used to be just a bomber's course pretty much. Hit the ball as high as you can. And believe me, that you still get rewarded for that. But more so now, it's a second shot golf course. Guys that can really control their irons. And people like Kuchar can really benefit from that. And Ricky Fowler. Mm-hmm. And guys that can do that, those are the type of winners that you've seen more over the last 10 to 15 years than you used to. So that's what I would expect to see this weekend.
Yeah. They're talking about Phil Mickelson's jump in 2004 right now. And to be honest, before I saw it, I actually just realized a couple days ago how unathletic that jump was.
Well, he probably couldn't believe it went in.
Yeah, true, with all the bad breaks he had gotten over his career. But
Kemp's got the 5 since we've been sitting here talking.
Oh, has he? Interesting. All right, well, thank you, Dad, for joining me in this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Do you have any last words you want to say?
No, honey, I appreciate you inviting me on. We'll do, I guess we got the PGA next, right?
Yeah, new schedule.
That page fly.
All right, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Subscribe.